Mike Riztello, the City of College Place City Administrator. Thanks for joining us for this great event. Thanks to the attendees and partners for being present, including Senator Maureen Walsh, Representative Bill Jenkin, Dennis Hewitt and Scott Mallory with Department of Health Office of Drinking Water, and then Fred Sweet, who's a church board member and elder for Christ Community Fellowship. Thank you. Okay. A little background about this project. It started 5 years ago in 2014 with notice of violation to Christ Community Fellowship for high nitrate concentrations. And now in 2019, we're finally connected to the system. So it's a great day. The ultimate solution was to connect Christ Community Fellowship to the city water system, replace a failed city well, and put the new one on the property of Christ Community Fellowship. It's a two-component project. The first component involves connecting up Christ Community Fellowship to the city water system and then looping back the supply main back to the city system. The second component involves drilling a new well here at the Christ Community Fellowship site, which is right over there at the corner of Peppers Bridge and McMinn Road. The original estimate cost was $4.2 million, though that's expected to be higher on the kind of deeper drilling. The new well is actually at 825 feet, so it's a very deep well. And installation of sleeves through unstable material. We'll have a better idea once the well pump test is completed. The project has been made possible through funding from 4 different funding organizations. The Drinking Water State Revolving Fund loan from Department of Health, legislative appropriations. Thank you, Senator Walsh, Representative Jenkin, Representative Rude, and also city funds as well. Christ Community Fellowship also provided a 1-acre easement to accommodate the new well. I would also want to recognize the project team that has worked expeditiously to get this thing going in a very timely manner given the complexity. So please raise hands for those I call on who've worked on this complex project. Project engineers, RH2, Kyle Smith, the project engineer. Pipeline construction, Tapangi Incorporated, Kevin Tapangi, Vice President and Chief Financial Officer. Also David Haynes and Blaine Belika. Materials testing, intermounting testing, aka IMT.
I don't think they show it.
Okay. And then well driller, Schneider Well, Eric Schneider, Vice President of Drill Operations. And then the project would not have been possible without the assistance of Walla Walla County and the Washington State Department of Transportation. So please, thank you for that. State Department of Transportation, and then Walla Walla County's SUNY Jones. So with that, we will have various project partners and funders come up and give a little discussion about what's going on here today. So first off is Dennis Hewitt, who is the contract manager for State Department of Health.
Good morning. I'm going to have to make this really short because my wife says I can only be out in the sun for about 12 minutes. I'm about 5 minutes over that. Something's burning. As Michael said, I'm with the Department of Health, Office of Drinking Water, and it's been a pleasure to be part of this project. Anytime that we can go ahead and get involved in bringing good health to the state of Washington, it's what makes us come to work every single day. And a shout out, of course, to the Christ Community Fellowship. They were great partners in pushing this forward. But a special thanks to our friends at College Place. They've been a real pleasure to work with. Michael and Robert and company. Some of these jobs can be a little bit, I'll say, hair-raising. Not that I would know what that is. But it's been a pleasure working with them. And Thank you for inviting us here.
Okay, next I would like to call up to the stage Fred Sweet. He is with Christ Community Fellowship, board member and church elder. He's been our liaison with the organization, has been part of the process from the very beginning. Beyond financially contributing to the project, CCF also provided a 1-acre well site. So with that, Fred.
Thank you. In my day job, I'm an engineer. Now I have to hold the microphone and give a speech. I usually just do one thing at a time, so bear with me here. All right, I just wanted to thank everyone for being here today, taking time out of your schedule. It's an important event for our church and our community. And first and foremost, though, I do want to thank the City of College Place and the Washington State Department of Health. It is a team effort, and those guys really stepped up to bring us clean drinking water to our church and to Liberty Christian School and to the community. So our little church here, we exist to glorify God, and this endeavor for us has been about patience, about providence, and partnership, and we give God all the glory. Amen. So 5 years ago, we received notice from the Department of Health that we're in violation with nitrates over the limit, and we immediately brought in bottled water and turned off our drinking fountains. And so another member and I started on a trek to resolve the issue. We went through several engineered solutions. Department of Health really wasn't on board with our solutions, so they came back to us at the end and said, you either connect to City College Place or you drill your own new well. Okay, so in the area of Providence, our pastor, Matt Dotson, here in the nice shirt and tie, he set up an outreach to fund a Jesus well. To provide clean drinking water to a small village in India. So our goal was to raise $1,400 as a little community church, and our members responded with donations totaling $2,800. That's enough for 2 wells. So I believe that this simple act of faith planted the seed for funding, and this project today now exceeds $4 million. And we're also about partnership. Well, 5 years ago, we had no idea that we'd be entering into a partnership with the City of College Place. This partnership highlights what can be accomplished when people work together to come up with creative solutions that are mutually beneficial. Today we have 2 new municipal wells and a new water main under construction, and last week we turned on our drinking fountain. So lastly, I want to specifically thank Robert Gordon and Paul Hartwig for pulling off the impossible. Well done.
Next, I'll be calling up our state legislators. A couple of comments. In this era, it's just really rare to be able to get appropriations and the assistance that we have of our legislative delegation to make this a reality. It's very rare in my experience working at other places, so thank you for all of that. The appropriation that we received was critical to funding this this project in a timely manner, and not only relieves the health concern for CCF, but also guarantees water supplies for roughly 10,000 residents of the city of College Place. So first, I'd like to call up Representative Jenkin for comment. Representative.
Thank you, Mike. Well, congratulations. That was a lot of work and a job well done to all of you. It shows what faith can do, and it's great to be a believer. I'll put it that way. And this just reinforces that. The needs of water have been addressed, and that need has also been addressed in your case here. We need clean drinking water. I know there's a problem with nitrates and that type of thing, and that goes on throughout our legislative district because we have a lot of farms and that type of deal, and some of this will probably impact other places as well. And speaking of wells, when I was first elected 3 years ago, there was huge concerns with what was going on here in College Place and the water. It was one of the first things that I personally worked on. And I have to really thank the past representative, Terry Neely, for his efforts in getting this done. Him and his legislative aide, at that time, Megan Allen, she's recently been married, worked very hard along with my office and my staff member, Marge, and then to get it done, you have to go to the Senate, and that's where Maureen came in, and we all three work as a team. Now it's Skylar Rood in trying to fulfill the needs of the 16th district, and this was one. This was huge. Your well number 3 was appropriate. Well 1 and 2 really needs a lot of work. The 900,000 will go, I think, a long ways in taking care of that, as well as the loop that brings you here. And so we're on our way. I'll make it short and brief because that's basically my feeling. I more than anything else, I'm honored to be a part of that. That's why I got into the legislature, was to help people, and it's the same thing with everybody else that is in the 16th legislature and in the legislature in total. We're here to help, and we want to know if there's anything else that needs to be done. I know we spoke last year. There's a transportation issue that we're trying to solve. It didn't get solved last year, but we're hoping at the next capital budget year that we can do something. And other than that, I want to thank you and congratulate you once again for what you've been able to accomplish. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to call up Senator Maureen Walsh.
Well, thank you. Thank everybody. I mean, this is always an effort that takes a lot of different parties coming together and reaching agreement, and I think that's exactly what happened here. You know, we've always had this term about this area of the state anyway called the Walla Walla Way, and I think that really applies in this particular case too. People coming together, coming up with a solution to something, and I think that this has been a very successful project that you can all be very proud of, and I'm very pleased indeed to offer address the health issues for the school and make sure that we've got fresh drinking water. You know, the capital budget is kind of a funny beast, and when you're trying to get appropriations for wonderful projects in your district, sometimes the least glamorous ones are water projects and things like that, but often the most vitally important. And in this particular case, when we've got kids' health and communities' health at risk, that's something we will fight for, to make sure that we're able to get the appropriations that are needed to make that project go forward as quickly as possible. So to be able to expedite that is a great thing. I got a kick out of Representative Jenkin saying, "Hi, we're your government. We're here to help." It's kind of a cliche, but you know, it's the truth. And I think often it takes that collaborative effort between the different entities of government to really bring these things together. I'm really proud to be a part of that. Always happy to help. Always want to have our communities as strong as possible. Healthy communities and healthy neighborhoods, they breed a healthy state, and that's what we want for the state of Washington, and I'm just darn glad to be a part of that, and I'm awfully proud to work with all of you in reaching this goal. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you. Now it is time for the connection event. Ribbons will be handed out to the following parties and connected here. A little bit different from a ribbon cutting since this is connecting to a water system. So with that, for ribbons provided, I'd like to call up Senator Walsh and Representative Jenkin. DOH Dennis Hewitt and Scott Mallory, Christ Community Fellowship Fred Sweet, and then Washington State Department of Transportation in the county. And the ribbon will be attached to a magnet here.